Look at this. What the heck? When I left the house, I did not have that. What is happening? Is it supposed to be over here? Oh. Maybe. Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to be talking about Invisible Sister. Invisible Sister is a 2015 Disney Channel original movie about a girl named Cleo who accidentally turns her sister Molly invisible. It's directed by Paul Hoen, cinematography by Suki Medencevic or Medencevic. I don't know. Editing by Craig Webster and Lisa Robison. Music by Deborah Lurie, and it's written by Matt and Billy Eddy, based on a book called Invisible Sister by Sarah Pinto and Beatrice Colin. No summary, couldn't find one. The film stars Rowan Blanchard as Cleo, Paris Berelc as Molly, Karan Brar as George, Austin Fryberger as Coog, Will Meyers as Carter, and Rachel Crow as Nikki. This was announced in January of 2015. They started filming in February of 2015, wrapped in April of 2015, and it premiered October of 2015. Was the third most viewed thing on cable television that night. Had some cute moments. I would say it felt like quirky in some areas, and just all around like well-rounded of a score. It was surprisingly well done. The opening is pretty basic, but was not nearly as cringe as some of these recent DCOMs have been. George was a little cringe in the beginning, but it was definitely one of those moments where he was supposed to be being cringy, even the character, his friend thought so. Cleo is very cynical. It was kind of interesting to have a main character that obviously needed some growth. That was kind of nice instead of just stuff happening to the main character. It's been a second since we've had one of these science movies. I know we just had How to Build a Better Boy, but I feel like that doesn't count. Because they didn't actually build the android or anything. They just programmed what they thought was a video game program. So it wasn't an actual science experiment. This reminded me a lot of, if you've ever seen Tia and Tamara Mowry's 17 Again. Not the Zac Efron one, but the one where Taj Mowry, the little brother, Tia plays the main girl, and her little brother accidentally creates a de-aging soap, and her grandparents de-age, basically. Very fun and kind of, high stakes, but exciting, and I don't know. I really love that movie. I know a lot of people really kind of love that movie. This gave me similar vibes to that, with the accidental science experiment, doing something to a family member that then needs to be reversed or it will become permanent. It was really exciting. I liked to have that element kind of back. The most unbelievable part of this film is passing Cleo off as Molly. They don't look alike at all, in my opinion. I think all of Molly's friends would have believed it not at all. I think they all would have been Cleo, what are you doing here? Where's Molly? I don't think anyone for a second would have believed that that was Molly. I also think the whole lacrosse scene was a little bit yucky, because it was definitely cheating, and that's gross. If it had been talent scout or college scout type situation, I wish maybe it could have just been a deeper moment between the sisters, and I don't know, and they found a way to suspend the game instead of her actually doing it, because that was a part that was okay, it's unbelievable that this would happen and that their cheating is gross. Overall, though, this was surprisingly good. I feel a lot of the DCOMs recently have, multiple cringe moments that make it very, kid, and not, preteen or teen. And, this one definitely felt like one, in the realm of that 17 Again movie that I grew up with. in the realm with something like Double Teamed. It wasn't as emotional as Double Teamed, but like the spirit of it was there. And that's the stuff I've been missing in these like more modern DCOMs, even though this was 10 years ago, which I can't deal with that. But it was like refreshing. Like Descendants started like so cringe, but then found its way and was really enjoyable. This had like one cringe moment in the beginning, and then it had some unbelievable parts about like, you know, no shot, but like it wasn't unbelievable to the point of me being mad at the movie. It was just like, all right, I'll suspend my disbelief and go along with this, but like, no. You know what I mean? And so this had heart. It was interesting. I was in to the storyline. I thought it was kind of fun. I thought it was gonna be quirky to see what happened. I was entertained. It wasn't too cringe. It wasn't punching down for a younger audience. It, you know, was good. Like, I was very surprised with this. My favorite part is actually Coog. Probably because this movie did a lot of subverting expectations. So you expect her sister Molly, one, to mistreat her and kind of be mean to her. Her sister Molly isn't like that at all. It's very obvious that her sister Molly wants to include her by inviting her to the froyo, by, you know, looking on at her like, you know, it'd be nice if my sister were around, or whatever it might be. Coog, Molly's boyfriend, you expect to be kind of a turd, kind of mean, looks down at Cleo and her friends. But no, he's just a big, lovable himbo. He's not the brightest bulb in the box, but he is so sweet. The stuff he says to Molly, the fact that he says, you know, I feel like she's avoiding me. If she wants to break up, I just want her to be happy, and if that means it's without me, that's okay. Like, oh my god, okay, we stan. And then also, like, he does not mistreat Cleo at all. He immediately is like, hey, Cleo. He just doesn't remember George's name, but he's, like, it's established he's not the brightest bulb in the box, so he's just a big, lovable himbo. Like, I love him. I love that they subverted the expectations with him being mean, and he's just a genuinely lovable guy, and he's not mean to Molly. Like, by the end of the movie, even Cleo is like, I get why Molly is with you. You are so kind and so sweet. And then my least favorite part is probably the small cringe moment at the beginning. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't think like I have a least favorite part. The movie was pretty solid. Recommend. I think I would. If you're trying to watch DCOMs that are worth their salt after, like, if you were similar to my age, after our era, you know, you hear of Teen Beach Movie, you hear of Descendants, but this might be one that, like, missed a radar moment. For me, I had never even heard of this. So this was a surprise. I was very surprised by this, and it's a welcome surprise. It's nice when a DCOM surprises me, especially after my time with the DCOMs. Watch again. I wouldn't say no. People are classifying this as a Halloween movie. I totally get the sentiment. It takes place around Halloween. There's a Halloween dance. People are in costumes. So I definitely get where the Halloween theme is coming from. It isn't about Halloween though, so it's like one of those situations where it just takes place at Halloween. Specific moments. I know I just kind of touched on this with favorite part, but all of the relationships in this are good. Like, Coog and Molly are so sweet. Carter is very upfront about his feelings for Cleo. Cleo ends up, you know, realizing she's just trying to protect herself, and is then eventually upfront about her feelings with Carter. And then George is finally himself with Nikki. Like, it's all very lovely to see. And then Cleo and Molly, like, are finally honest with each other, and that's part of the learning and everything like that. It's very sweet. And we love to see it. We love to not see the stereotypical, like, popular sister's boyfriend is awful and she's just with him because of the status. Popular sister is awful because her sister is an outcast. Best friend to main character doesn't ever win a girl, or the girl he wins is, you know, whatever. And then the guy that the main girl likes ends up, you know, being a jerk or whatever it is, you know, like, it subverted all his expectations, which was really wonderful. I think that was a nice refreshing surprise. We love to see it. I mean, Carter frickin' spent 4 hours on the Romp the Swamp, building a honeypot costume because he thought Cleo was going to be in a bear costume. Like, that's adorable and dedication, and we love to see it. So yeah, that's everything I have for Invisible Sister. What a pleasant little surprise this was. I thought we were kind of done with, like, hidden gems. But this was great. And believe it or not, it's a DCOM. I thought all my hidden gems were going to come from, like, maybe foreign movies, but we love when a DCOM can surprise me. So that was lovely. My final rating for that is going to be 7 moths. Invisible moths, if you will. Out of 10, our total movie count is. Parent death toll and cry count are still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on all socials. You'll find out what movie I'm watching when. I put up videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes Wednesday. Join Patreon. I got a tier starting at just $1. You get every video a week early. And tiers above that, you get daily trivia, bonus content, all that good stuff. Buy merch. You know where to find it. Link. Oh, people are saying the link in my description isn't working. I have to check that. Oh man, I haven't done that. Whoopsie. I'll check. But there's also, it pops up here somewhere, so check that out. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe, but I'm not in charge of your life. You are, studio, and don't be. I think there was one jock in the beginning that was kind of rude. Maybe don't be him. Otherwise, like, don't be so cynical. She learns her lesson, you know? There's a fine line. Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay.